when did you meet Matt and Ben? I know that's a
I
long
met
story.
Ben for a Mallrats audition.
Right.
I had read about him in the trades because him and Matt had just sold Good Will Hunting to Castle Rock.
Right.
So, you know, 2 actors sell a script for $800,000. I was like, good Lord, that's almost $1 million. So he was coming in that day. I'll never forget Jim Jacks, who was our producer on the movie, late great Jim Jacks. He's since passed. He went on to make like the Mummy movies and stuff like that. He produced Days of Confused. He goes, Ben Affleck's coming in today. And I was like, oh, that's O'Banion from Days of Confused. He goes, yeah, but he's got a potty mouth. We put him in Days of Confused, and the F count went up on that movie by 800%. So he's going, I don't want him in this movie. You got enough Fs in this movie and stuff. And so Ben comes in, and he sits down, and I was like, hey, man, what are you doing here? I heard you just sold the script. I read you guys made $800,000. He's like, how'd you know that? I was like, it's in the trades. He's like, you read the trades? I was like, yeah, it's part of our business. He goes, yeah, I made $800,000. I said, then what are you doing here? We're paying scale in this movie. And he goes, I thought Clerks was pimp. And that was enough. Right there. I was like, I love this guy. So we cast him as a bully in Mallrats, kind of like typecast him based on Days Confused. But after that flick, or working on Mallrats with him, that's where I got to know him, fell in love with him and stuff. So when I wrote Chasing Amy, I wrote him the male lead, and I remember I called him like when I was halfway through the script because I was like, I didn't even tell this guy, he might not want it. So I was like, yo, Affleck, I was like, I'm writing my next flick for you to play the male lead, and there's dead silence, and he goes, finally. And I gave him the first half of the Chasing Amy script, and he had to get on a train to go to Boston and stuff. And he's like, this ain't long enough to get me to like Connecticut. I said, oh, well, here's the script for this movie I wrote called Dogma. That'll get you all the way home. So when he called me when he got back to Boston, I said, what'd you think of Chasing Amy? He goes, guy falls in love with a lesbian, real nice. But this Dogma movie, man, I got to be in this one day. And he eventually was. Look at that. We hit the post. I'm a pro.
Radio term.
I'm a pro, kids. I've been around.
Affleck also the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Thank you. Look at that deep cuts right there,
Deep
man.
cuts.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reference. 24 years old this year, that movie.
And Dogma
next year,
turns
25th anniversary.
And Dogma returns to movie theaters for its 25th anniversary, Thursday, June 5th.
You can just go see it in a movie theater for like $10, even less than a
Kevin
matinee.
Smith, everybody. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.